So Vidya ma'am, you've always said that you're a tigress on the prowl when it comes to good films and good scripts. And here you are with Sherni. So huge congratulations, first of all.
Thank you so much.
Now, your character seems to be an everyday hero who is strong-willed. And when essaying such a role, which is obviously very different to how you are as a person, what aspects do you reflect on to present that character in a very organic manner?
You know, I think we're a sum of many parts, and there is a part of me that's also like Vidya Vincent, which is maybe calmer and quieter. And I dug deep to find that part of me. But also, I've seen lots of Vidya Vincents around me, women who are not very obviously strong in that sense. They're not aggressive women, but they're strong nonetheless. They're strong-willed. They're doers, and even though they don't make a big thing about what they're doing, I think Vidya has a courage to do what she wants to do the right thing the right way. And that for me makes her a Sherni.
Absolutely, very well said. Now, the tigress almost seems metaphorical, as it, to me, it connotes how the protagonist is almost searching for herself whilst sort of navigating the forest of the world and navigating this patriarchal society, so to speak. So what did you discover the most about yourself, be it personally and professionally, about whilst working on the film in particular, and especially on the roles as well?
You know, I think this film helped me redefine strong woman for myself, because I used to see her as a certain kind of woman. Now I realize that a strong woman is every woman. So she's not any one kind.
Yeah.
She's every woman. You know, it's just that we exhibit strength, or we possess different inflections of strength within us, and we allow the world to see certain aspects of us. But I think if I had to make a generalization, I'd say every woman is a strong woman and every woman is a Sherni.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting you say this because I was reading up actually ahead of our chat today, and you did mention in another interview that the film and the role has actually redefined what a strong woman and what a real hero is. So what was your interpretation of those two meanings beforehand? And I think just elaborating on what you just said, how has that changed for you in a more perhaps deeper meaning, in a more deeper way?
You know, for example, I always felt that a strong woman is one who has a mind of her own, who's able to speak her truth, who will stand up against the wrong and all of that. And I think, ignored the scores of women who are not of that personality. And yet that does not mean that they're not strong.
Right.
You know, homemakers, for example, like you say, navigate this jungle called life in different ways. You know, of course, there are individual differences, but I think the challenges there are different, and therefore they find their way through that in different ways. You know, when it's on a public stage, when you're a political figure, or you're an actor, or you're a journalist, or someone from the media, it's very different.
Right. Yeah.
You know, the manifestation of that strength is very different.
Also, the film does seem to address the deep-rooted patriarchy and social barriers put up for women. I mean, I was quite astounded at the sort of undermining that Vidya Vincent goes through in working in such a male-dominant sort of, workspace as well. And I know you actually met and interacted with a few forest officers yourself as well. So how do you hope and feel Sherni will convey such societal subjects in a very cinematic way?
I think, firstly, this is true of women in different professions, not just as forest officers, because most professions have been male dominated forever.
True that.
And now we are entering those fields and obviously challenging the status quo. And, we are underestimated most of the time, and most of the time we are underestimating ourselves. So it's all part of the mix.
Yeah.
But I think it will make you reflect. It it will make you think. Because it's not a preachy sort of film. But when you see what happens to Vidya Vincent, I think you will ask some questions. When you see, the journey of both the tigresses, a human one and the tigress, then I think it will make you think about a whole lot of things, about this man-animal conflict, about just conflict between individuals, conflict between men and women, conflict between progress and conservation, all those things.
Sure. And I think, since several Indian films nowadays are quite apt in sort of highlighting a lot of societal issues through cinema, do you feel this is a new direction for Indian cinema now generally? Because I watched a film called The Great Indian Kitchen, which was very apt in being a masterpiece of a film, but yet conveyed so many societal issues, including the deep-rooted patriarchy as well. So do you feel this is a new direction for Indian cinema?
I think so, Thankfully, Indian cinema is constantly evolving. And thanks to the OTT platforms, I think now there is no limit or there is no statute on the kind of film that you can make. And use box office as a measure for how much a film is liked.
Exactly.
So that really opens up, it widens the horizon. It changes the game.
Yes, and when you play, roles, especially in particular, like Shakuntala Devi, Tara Shinde, and now Vidya Vincent, do you also ever feel a sense of social responsibility, even as an actor too? Because it is a very important role.
No, I don't feel any sort of social responsibility. The only responsibility I feel is towards myself, I'll be very honest with you. But I think, I'm not making films to really fulfill my social responsibility. I'm doing it out of greed because I love what I do and I love telling stories. And if the story touches someone and makes them think about something, and then that's a bonus. But beyond that, no, I'd be lying if I said otherwise.
I'm waiting for you to direct a film, by the way, Vidya ma'am. I think you really need to. Please do it. I'm waiting.
Oh my God, Anuj, no way. I'd be tearing my hair apart and everyone else's too.
Nah, I think we definitely love that. But I think on a final note, Vidya ma'am, I think often whenever we've had an interview and whenever we've spoken, you've often spoken about the whole idea of how fascinated you are with playing characters that have multi-dimensional personalities. I remember that interview that we did for Shakuntala Devi. I remember that you mentioned that too specifically then. So what excites you the most in playing such characters, and how do you hope that this sort of excitement helps you in approaching other projects and subsequent projects too?
What excites me about playing people and written parts is the fact that they're not unidimensional, because none of us is. I can be very giving, but I can also be very greedy. I can be loving, but I can be hateful too. So I think when a role allows me to explore the different textures within the fabric of one's personality, I think that's so, it's like biting into something, into the juiciest, into the meatiest burger, though I'm vegetarian.
We can have vegetarian burgers, paneer burgers.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's really exciting because I'm anyway very interested in human beings and how human behavior is so unpredictable. But also invariably how our behaviors, even the experiences we have in life almost parrot those of our parents. I am a student of psychology, so I think I'm very fascinated by these things and like to delve into it deeper.
Really? Wow, that is incredible. I mean, actually, because you have reached this stage, I think, in your life too. I mean, I was watching Parinita the other day and I was like, I still remember that time. Everyone was so curious to see who this new face was being launched by Vidhu Vinod Chopra. And there was that fascination when I saw Lolita. I mean, at this point in life, because you've reached a certain cusp, I feel, and you have achieved this you've managed to create this amazing space for yourself in the industry. When you look back now and look back at that Vidya Balan that was beginning then, what goes through your mind at that point?
That she was so naive and, innocent. And I love that. But thank God I haven't remained the same. Thank God I've learned and grown from my experiences.
Yeah, absolutely.
At this cost of sounding arrogant, I don't dislike who I've grown into.
I think you've grown and proved to be the Sherni that you are. And I think it looks like a fascinating film. And I think it looks so important, especially for the current situation that we're in, especially in life. And I just want to congratulate you once again, Vidya ma'am. You had Shakuntala Devi last time, which was lovely. And now you have Sherni. So huge congratulations and wishing you all the very best.
Thank you, Anuj.
I can't wait for our next chat.
And I hope it's not like this.
Yes, exactly. Hopefully it's a face-to-face one, but lovely.
Exactly.
Thank you, Vidya ma'am. Thank you so much.
Bye. Take care.
Bye. Take care.